Howdy, everybody. Welcome to the Brother Sister Show, a family-owned and operated podcast where two siblings keep in touch by talking about movies, or they at least try to.
Oh my God.
This week, we're talking about Anthony's pick, Palm Springs. But before we get to that, let's talk about what just happened. No.
I mean, we can. We spent the past hour and a half trying to record.
I don't know what's happening, but it's okay. If it seems like it's an unhinged episode, then you know why, because we've been through 4 different
techniques,
ways to record this. Yeah. Hopefully this works.
I've lost my mind editing this.
Yeah.
It'll be weird. Man, what a day that we live in. So as I've said before, okay. This isn't the first time we've recorded this part. But I've been watching Jane the Virgin. Mm-hmm. Which
wow.
Oh my gosh. Spoiler alert. Michael just died. So
oh my God.
I hate Michael though. He kind of looks like the
it's probably like looking in a mirror. So I think you need to
stop. Because he looks like Crazy Frog. And so he looks like Crazy Frog. Jane or Gina Rodriguez looks like the "you're so silly, oh my gosh, you're so silly, you silly goose" guy. And Raphael looks like the Crash Bandicoot villain. I don't know his name. You probably know his name.
I don't actually.
I don't remember his name.
I know what you're talking about though.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
That sums up that show. Godzilla versus King Kong. Bad movie, like we discussed off air.
We're recapping it for ourselves. It just sounds like you're just summarizing. Everybody's like, okay, we didn't hear that. You know that, right?
I forgot. Well, that movie was extremely predictable and need more substance to the fight action sequence, which we didn't.
Because the fighting was cool, but like, I knew what was going to happen.
Exactly.
And I will say, I told Sebastian the only way I'll like this movie is if one of two things happen. 1, if they fall in love with each other, or 2, if one of them dies.
Now, Kith. That's funny.
I don't get when people say that. It's like spelled like Kith, right? What does that even mean?
It's a picture of Mike Tyson holding 2 pigeons together, I think. And because he has a lisp, it's like, now Kith.
Oh, meme culture. I don't get it. But yeah, I didn't like the movie. It just went on, and it was very predictable.
Way too long.
Well, there was one part that you liked at the end. Do you want to talk about it?
Oh, yeah.
When Godzilla just like pieces out.
Yeah, he's like, respect to King Kong. And he's like, he just like bounces. It's just so funny.
And this is so weird to say our jokes again, but I'm going to say it again. I thought it was funny. Well, not even when it wasn't when Godzilla left, when King Kong left, and the way he walked away just looked like he was like, don't ever fucking call me again for this shit. Okay. Go in your little Apex world fucking thing. Find somebody else and leave me the fuck alone. He just looks so tired. Like when he threw that axe down, he was like, give me the fuck out of here.
He's out.
But other than that, I didn't get it. I just don't. I mean,
very predictable.
Very straight to DVD. I guess straight to streaming kind of thing. Very much that.
And then I did my penance. So I watched After We Collided. It feels sad to talk about this again.
Somehow the universe just forced you not only to watch it, but to talk about it twice.
Because I watched it alone.
Like on your phone?
Yeah.
That's so sad. Like, that's what I want the picture. Like, I want a picture of you. I wish Kayla would have taken a picture of you doing that, because then that would be a great promo. That's even worse that she's not even there.
Yeah, it's
like she was busy. She wasn't even home.
It was legit degrading watching that movie. It was so bad. I hate everyone who was involved. I hate you for making me watch it. Like, I made you watch Flushed Away. That's not even a bad movie. This is like,
oh my God,
this is a bad movie. It shouldn't have been made. The thing that bothers me, and it'll always bother me, is like so many other stories could have been told. So many other people could have been funded with the money that they made this atrocity with. It was atrocious. And I feel like a worse person for watching it. So that was that. I really don't want to give it any more time because I really hated it.
Well,
Trevor.
Yeah, fucking Trevor. I also like, there's a couple moments I like. I also like when he's running to the ambulance. That was really funny. Like, he thought he could catch up to it. Also, that's the slowest ambulance I've ever seen.
Yeah, he was like,
they're going like 30.
He could have caught up to it. It's so stupid.
Was so funny. There's also another, hopefully you remember this, but if not, I will get a screenshot of it's one of the Sprouse twins. I always forget which one, but the one that's in that movie. Right. he calls what's his face, Hardin, and he's like, no, she's not gonna talk to you, and he has his hand on his hip, and it's
total Karen.
It's the funniest part of the movie. It is so funny. Also, just this is kind of a thing with like fan fictions where it's so unrealistic. Like that part when it's her first day on the job, and they're like, okay, we're gonna go, we're gonna put you up in a really nice hotel for a room by yourself. I'm gonna go buy you a really nice dress. You don't have to wear underwear. It's like all this, like, when does this happen? I've had an internship. They didn't pay me. Like, it's not like this.
Yeah, that I hated the whole relation. I just hated everything about it. There was also this one moment that I thought could have been really funny if this movie took a turn, which I know it wasn't. But at the like going away party at the end, when Hardin makes it there, and she sees him, and she drops the glass. I know it's like from shock because she's like, I never thought I'd see you again. But I was hoping that it would have been like, oh shit, he's gonna kill me. You know what I mean? Like, oh my gosh.
Oh, he's 100% a murderer.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I thought it was going to be. That would have been a good point to turn it into like a slasher film.
Funny. Oh, that's so funny. I do like that idea, and I've always wanted to do that. Of like, I think I've pitched this idea to you before of making a movie that does that, where it's. But you have to have such a big effort to do that, where you like market it a certain way. You know, everything. You have to like get a studio to do this, to try to basically trick people into watching something that they didn't sign up for. Basically, the experience that people have, like, you know, when you see those articles when they're like, I think the specific one I'm thinking of is when these parents took their kids to see Peter Rabbit and they accidentally played Hereditary. Right. Like, that's the exact experience that I want. Not a kid's movie. Like, I'm not fucking, evil. But like a family drama or a romantic drama. Like that kind of thing, to just quickly turn into something else. But I think people would hate it. And I think that means I need to make it. Yeah,
that would have made this movie a little bit more bearable. But what a terrible. I don't even want to give it any more time. What did you watch?
So I also watched Godzilla vs. King Kong. I've been watching ER. I'm kind of like the same thing with Jane the Virgin, where I feel like I have nothing to talk about because that's all I watch right now is ER. I'm almost done with it. I think I have like 2 more seasons. And then I watched I Am Legend, but in Espanol.
Nice.
So we watched it with Sebastian's parents. Okay. And so we watched it and I've been wanting to learn Spanish. I've been trying Duolingo. By the way, the memes of like the owl and the notifications just like,
it's not real.
Like stalking you, basically, very real. I'm gonna get one right now and you'll be like, what the fuck did you say?
Siri just told me.
I mean, that's probably what's happening. That's probably why we can't record, because the fucking owl is like hacking into my system. He like, learn Spanish, you dumb bitch. And you know what? He's right. Anyways, so I watched, but I knew that people say like one of a good way to learn or to practice is to watch a movie that you have already seen, but in Spanish. And so I was excited to watch this one. And I haven't seen I Am Legend in so long. And that fucking movie is so good. I forgot how good that movie is.
I haven't seen it in forever.
Highly recommend that you watch it again. I think it's on Netflix. Super good.
Nice.
Holds up.
That's good.
I got like weirdly emotional.
With the whole dog? Or?
Just, yeah, the whole thing. I was like, because I mean, I don't know. I think I have a ability to relate everything to anything. So, but it just reminded me so much, obviously, of the times now. That like, yeah, just being alone and yeah. And just him like being so resistant towards going, like, I don't know, like I still, you can still see that he has hope, obviously, because he's been working on a vaccine. Oh God. He's working on a vaccine for so long, but even the like whiff of other people that he could help, he doesn't want to leave. And that kind of goes into Palm Springs a little bit, like my feelings about this movie and what it brings up, like about COVID times.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, I think I didn't realize that a lot of movies that I've seen post or pre-COVID are going to be, I'll be able to see them in a different light, like post-COVID.
Definitely. Yeah. Anything else?
Not really. Been working on the series, and actually the series will be, the first day of the series I've been producing will be out as this, actually the day of this recording, because it's going to be out, I think, oh God, I need to get this right. So the series I've been working on, Anti-Social Distance, is going to be out on the 8th, which will be the day that this is released. And you can see new episodes every day from the 8th until the 15th. I don't have the time, but I think it's around like, I want to say 6 p.m. Central every day. If that's incorrect, I don't know. Antisocialdistance.com. Yeah. You can go there.
There's your
and you'll figure it out. Oh, it's right here. 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern.
Yeah, so that's 6 Central.
Okay. I'm so smart.
Yeah.
Time zones. Time zones are hard for me, but yes, it'll be out. It's an amazing series. I don't really want to give anything away because I think it's best to just watch it not knowing anything. Anthony's seen it. You've seen a little bit of it.
Yeah, I didn't know if I could say anything or not. It's good. You guys need to watch it.
You can.
It's very good.
It's very good. I'm very proud of it.
Yeah, I like the website. I mean, from what I've seen, you did a good job. I'm very excited for everyone to see it. Please go watch it. Maybe
we'll definitely talk more about it next week.
Oh yeah.
But let us know, or let me know. Let somebody know.
Let everyone know.
Seen it. Yeah.
Cool.
I'm ready to get into Palm Springs.
Yeah, I was about to say I can't think of any movie news. I mean, there's like, we don't really talk about sports, but I don't know if you saw UCLA and Gonzaga, and now UCLA or Baylor won the March Madness, the whole like college champion. No, okay. There was a crazy. I'm losing it, man.
Sebastian, like when he came home yesterday, he said something about it, and I was like, "What are you talking about?" And he was like, "Did you see who won the national championship?" And I was like, "Of what?"
College basketball.
And he said, "With like college, yeah." And I was like, "Oh, that's still going on? I thought it was over."
No, yeah, it's been going on for a while. But there was this.
I forgot it's the entire month of March.
Yeah, there was this wild buzzer beater for the semifinals against, it was UCLA and Gonzaga. And I mean, you used to watch a lot more basketball. I don't know if you still watch, but like you used to watch the Spurs with us. Yeah.
Well, yeah.
As a family. But it was
not really. I don't really watch sports now. I just like a couple of people I follow tweet about like basketball constantly.
Right.
And so I'm kind of like, I don't.
It was a crazy
know
shot.
Anything else about it?
It was a crazy shot.
I'll look it up, I guess. I don't know. I've also been like, I truly, that's why I haven't really watched anything. The only thing the stuff I watch is while I'm working. So that's honestly why I don't really know anything what happened in Godzilla. Because I've been just working. I mean, we're in the home stretch of this series. So,
Right.
Yeah.
Well,
So I don't have time for basketball, and I would like for you never to bring it up in this podcast ever again, please.
well, I mean, it's a historic shot. I feel like it'll be remembered forever. And I was there. It's one of those. I know Dad's always like,
what?
well, I wasn't there, but like I saw it. You know.
You said it as if you were like on the court, like courtside.
Courtside, you know.
You like made
there.
the assist.
No, it's just like.
Oh, but you were watching it live.
Yeah, it's like, you know, I always hear older people, you know, they're like, I was there.
Dang, you said dad and then you said older people.
Yeah, he's older. He's older than me.
I know. All right.
But I was there when that shot was made. Anyways, let's go to the break. I'm losing my mind.
I was there when Godzilla and King Kong
Yep.
kissed. I was gonna say made love, but then I was like, is that too dark? But then I don't know why I would have thought that would be too dark for this podcast.
That's dark.
Or not dark, but like
That is really dark, actually. We have to cut that.
Not dark. What's the term?
Yep.
Not grotesque.
Let's just cut to the break.
What the fuck I'm saying?
This episode's too much.
All right, we'll be back after this. Stuck in a time loop, two wedding guests develop a budding romance while living the same day over and over again in Palm Springs. Oh, shit. Directed by Max Barbaco. Story by Max Barbaco. Oh, God, I'm so sorry. And Andy Sierra. Screenplay by Andy Sierra. Starring Andy Samberg, Kristen Milotti, and J.K. Simmons. God, that was rough.
Other than Andy Samberg and J.K. Simmons, I don't think you said either one of those names right.
I don't think so either. But you know what? Whatever. I'm so sorry.
Sorry, Max, Andy, and Kristen. I mean, I could be very
really
wrong,
sorry.
but it just the confidence.
Barbaco. How would you say that? Barbaco.
Barbacow.
Andy Sierra. I'm pretty sure Andy Sierra is correct. Ciara,
maybe. I don't know. Just
Kristen Milioti.
Just the lack of confidence. Just like gave him everything. Whatever.
I'm just really bad at name pronunciation, but I mean it's for literally everybody.
Right. So as for how much it cost, we don't have that figure because it came out during COVID on a streaming service, Hulu. Opening weekend, it made about $164,000. Same for US. I'm pretty sure it just whatever. I was gonna say, is it just in the US that it came out?
I don't know.
I'm
sure I rounded up, so I'm sure it's like a little bit different, but I was like, whatever. Who the fuck cares?
Each episode that we make has just been getting more and more cursed.
I feel so bad. Maybe I should try the names again. I feel bad. But like, I don't know how else to like solve that. I guess I could just change who I am fundamentally, because that is I will say that's disrespectful. I should learn how to say these people's names, but like, I don't know.
Yeah, is this Andy Samberg?
Maybe I should just make it a bit and just J.K. Simmons.
Worldwide, it grossed about 1.4 million. As for how the critics received it, we got a 7.4 out of 10 on IMDb, 95% on Rotten Tomatoes, and an 83% on Metacritic.
Mm-hmm. Sure did.
Amen.
Correct. All right. Let's just get into it. I'm just talking out of my ass this whole time. Okay. So first I want to talk about a few things about this movie. And how it broke a couple of records. One of them, kind of controversial, but the other is pretty funny. So it actually holds the record for the biggest sale of a film at Sundance. And it beat the previous record holder by just 69 cents.
Nice.
I'm pretty sure I've said that in this podcast. And I went like on a whole spiral where I was like, I know I've said that about this movie. And then I was like, fuck, have we done this movie before?
I'm not even messing with you. I was just thinking, like, have we done this before? Have we done this episode before?
You know what? I don't think we have, but if we did, I would say we just released this episode and see if anybody. Why would I talk about this movie?
I think it was another festival movie, maybe. Because we did talk about it.
I know I've seen it before, so I probably talked about it when I'd seen it.
Right. Maybe what probably happened is because this came out July 2020, so we probably talked about it when we came out. That's probably. And we were thinking like maybe we'll choose it, but then we didn't choose it. So I wanted to tell you that fun fact. That's exactly what happened.
That'll be so fucking funny. But that'll be so funny if we did.
Man.
I feel like we would have to know.
Yeah.
I don't know. Sorry, we're going on tangents left and right. Okay. But the second record that it broke is that it has the most viewed Hulu release in its first weekend on the streaming service. But I do remember that this was pretty controversial because how Hulu announced it, from what I remember, is they just like sent out a press release and they didn't say what the number was, but they were just like broke records, and people are like, okay, but like what? Like, it's just like if we went, well, that was our, like that Palm Springs episode. It did the best for us. It's a world record, or a record for us. It's our best episode yet. And then that's it. We don't say how many people.
Oh, that's weird.
You know what I mean? Like it's kind of like okay, but like where's the proof, honey? Like what?
Yeah.
What are the numbers?
I could see
sweetie?
People thinking they did that just to hype up the movie.
Yeah, and I think somebody did ask Andy Samberg about it, and he was like, I don't know.
We should do that for this episode. This episode was.
That's what I mean.
I might as well.
I should make up like a mock press release. Oh my God, I'm going to do it.
Do it.
Okay. It's done. Watch it. It's never going to happen. Okay, so now into the movie. We start with Niles, which also great name.
Yeah, with
Love
a
the
Y.
way they spelled it. Mm-hmm. Very
Baller
cool.
move.
Played by Andy Samberg, and he starts the morning off really awkwardly with his girlfriend, and we see that they're getting ready for a wedding, not their own, but just getting ready for a wedding. And we see glimpses of the wedding that leads up to the maid of honor giving a speech, but Niles interrupts this speech and gives his own very funny, very awkward, like everybody's like, what the fuck is going on kind of speech. Also, this whole time he's dressed in a Hawaiian shirt and swimming trunks.
It's perfect.
Great outfit. And then there's a scene of him. I like this scene of like them. He's in the dance. Oh God, can you hear that?
No, you're good.
It's background noise. So we see him moving through the dance floor very seamlessly. And a fun fact is that this scene was captured in only 5 takes.
That's very impressive.
Yeah, especially to be, I mean, it's one thing to navigate through like a crowd that's just stationary, but for them to be dancing, you have to choreograph that really hard.
Yeah, especially because I don't even know. That's ridiculous to me. That's like the yeah, I don't know what I'm saying anymore. Keep on going.
All right. Niles then shows Sarah that his girlfriend, I'm like skipping throughout stuff. But Sarah is the bride's sister, the maid of honor. And so Niles like kind of befriends her, and he shows Sarah that his girlfriend is cheating on him. So that's okay it's okay if they hook up, basically trying to show him like, yeah, I have a girlfriend, but like, look what she's doing.
Right.
After this, they go to the desert, like an area, because they're in Palm Springs, right? So they're outside of the venue. They're about to hook up. And then he gets shot in the back with an arrow. I remember when I watched this, I was like, what the fuck is going on? Yeah. Because I think all I knew about this movie when I first watched it was that it's a time loop movie, but that's all I knew.
I didn't know anything.
Ooh, and is this your first time watching it?
No, I watched it when it came out.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so we learned that this guy, his name is Roy. And I mean, we don't see him, but like you hear his voice, and at least I knew instantly that it was J.K. Simmons. Mm-hmm. His voice is pretty recognizable. And somehow Niles knows him. We don't really know how or why at this point. And then the guy that's chasing him walks into the cave that's like glowing red, looks very ominous. And Niles follows after because he just has like all these arrows just sticking out of him. And then he wakes up in his hotel room again. And this shows us for the first time that this is a time loop movie. I mean, we can kind of guess from like him knowing like what people are saying, like just being careless. Like we can kind of see that, but this is the confirmation. And I'll admit that I don't know. I think it took me a little bit to watch this movie because I do like Andy Samberg, but I don't really care for time loop movies. I feel like it's overdone at this point, but it does seem like the filmmakers, when they were making this movie, that they did use that to their advantage. So Andy Samberg does reference Groundhog's Day, Edge of Tomorrow, and Happy Death Day. And he acknowledged that they'll never be able to fully, like this movie will never be able to fully differentiate themselves. I still didn't say it right, on the time loop front. So instead they acted knowing that the audiences would already be familiar with the specifics, which allowed them to avoid the like setup of what's happening, which I think is very smart.
Oh yeah, it's like I love to bring it back to Spider-Man, but that's what they're doing. I mean, like we already know Spider-Man's like backstory. There's no reason to tell it again.
Oh yeah, I guess I didn't realize that, but yeah, I think why not do that? Because like I said, like you don't have to. It feels like some movies kind of use that as a crutch. To tell the story, but I will say the references, I haven't seen Groundhog Day, but I have seen Edge of Tomorrow and Happy Death Day, and I actually do like those two a lot. Right. And even so, I think that those are good references to have, and that's probably why this movie is pretty good. Okay, so but this time is a little different, this loop, because Sarah shows up at the pool and she's fucking pissed, and he's like, what is going on? And so I like this element that they use, and I forgot that they did this, where they basically like switch perspectives a lot.
Oh, that was good.
It's a really like cool. I don't know if I've seen that as blatant as they did it now, because basically she's like pissed, and so then we flash back to her night, like what happened to her, and we see that whenever he was like crawling into the cave, he told her like, don't come in, but she did, and she followed him. So that meant that she was now entered into the loop. And so Niles told her not to. So, I mean, he's kind of like, well, why the fuck did you go in? And she said, there was a fucking arrow sticking out of you. What did you expect me to just leave you? Right. And this day is already a shit show. So we snap back to like where she is currently. Like we meet them back at their own, like, I guess, timelines. And Tala, which also, Niles is a cool name. Tala, I don't know, but she falls. She's like running towards them. She falls and she breaks her teeth instantly, which, it looks so scary.
I talked about this, I think, I don't remember when, but I hate when people like fall on their head, any part of their head in movies.
How did she do that? Like, how do you not at least break your arm because you're breaking your fall? Like, how do you fall face first?
Stupid.
That's pretty impressive. Yeah, just fucking put your arms out, dumbass. But Niles tries to tell Sarah, like, hey, if you just, like, everything tomorrow will be fine. Like, today's kind of a shit show, but tomorrow's going to be okay. And we also learn that the cave thing, like, I think they leave back to the desert because she wants to go where they were. And we learn that the cave thing is not just constantly there, but that it opens up after an earthquake. And so Sarah decides to walk into it. What?
Just like how he like shows her. He's like, I am the Antichrist.
And she's like, what? And he's like, I'm kidding.
I'm just kidding. God isn't real.
I forgot about that. Yeah, this movie has such little. I should have written them down. I don't know if you did.
No.
There's like a lot of good one-liners.
Lonely Island is perfect.
So good. And I don't know if I knew that. I thought when I first watched it, I thought he was just in it, but then I remember seeing the credits and they all produced it. And I was like, oh, this is going to be good. Okay. And so Sarah's like, okay, but if I, like, what happens if I go into the cave? And he's like, you're just going to restart. And so she restarts. And the next day she decides to leave and drive back home to Texas. And she stays awake the whole time, which I was like, oh, I guess this is kind of like a good idea, but I know it's not going to work. As soon as she gets there, she falls asleep and she just goes right back to where she was.
Here's where I'm a little confused on the whole timeline thing, right? How the whole looping thing. Because there's multiple of them, right? Say Niles stays up for like 5 days, right? And we learn that once they fall asleep or eventually die or go back into the cave, it resets, right? How, like, if Sarah dies or falls asleep on that first day and he's still awake, when he resets, does it go, are they still on the same loop, or is he like a little further ahead in the day? Do you know what I mean?
I'm gonna have to ask you to keep those questions to yourself. You kind of broke my brain. I thought of that too. I have no fucking clue.
Okay.
I thought about that whenever they were camping and he like fell asleep first and she was still awake.
Right, because there's like what, 30 minutes where he's already in the day and she's like has to catch up. I don't know. Plot hole maybe. I don't know. I'm very confused.
I don't think it's a plot hole. I think it's just something that we don't understand.
Okay. Well,
because there is a world. I mean, this is, I guess, kind of spoiler, but there's like he has interacted with her before when she's in, you know, she's like not in the loop. So this kind of, wouldn't it mean that there's like a multiverse of the next day he does wake up?
I guess.
Because the world moves on. It's not like he just disappears. Like the world does move on, but he doesn't get to move on with it.
Right.
I don't know.
Very interesting.
It would make sense. I guess I understand what you're saying. Like you're saying it would make more sense for it to the loop to restart at a time rather than them falling asleep. Is that what you're saying?
Maybe. I'm just like, it's just interesting because in Groundhog Day, Edge of Tomorrow, Happy, and all those other examples, it's only one person that's stuck in the loop, you know, with like who's aware of the loop. I
can't imagine there's an exact science to it either.
Yeah,
so
whatever.
I don't know.
Maybe it's just me digging too deep.
Maybe there's. That's a good question though, but I feel like it's like time travel. You're just gonna break your brain trying to figure it out. But yeah, now where am I? Oh, so we learn another rule about this time loop situation, that dying is not possible. When you die, you just reset. And he said, I've tried so many times and nothing happened. But he said that pain is still very real. So you can still feel pain and you can still die slowly in an ICU, which is not ideal. So to just try not to do that. And then we also learn about Roy, the guy from the beginning. We learn that this guy is hunting him. Hunting Niles, because Niles, during one of his loops, he partied with Roy and accidentally got him into the loop, because I think they just got like super drunk and super high. And then he like stumbled in there with him. Even he tried to tell him, but when he was like telling him, he was like, don't go in there. Like he was like whispering to himself. Yeah, but then we learned that Roy actually drove there that day. So he has to wake up like quite a ways away from the venue. Mm-hmm. So he doesn't show up. I think he said he just shows up like every now and then, but he doesn't go and hunt him every day. So he just like doesn't know when he's going to come, which is kind of scary. But yeah. And so Sarah says that she is determined to get out of this, but Niles is basically like, I don't know how you're going to do that, but like, I guess go ahead.
He's accepted his life.
He's like, yeah, I mean, because we don't really know exactly how long he's been in there. I don't think we ever really know.
Yeah.
But at this point, he's kind of like, it's just how it is. And he seems kind of happy in it too. Like I don't know why he would go to the wedding every day. Like, wouldn't you try to go somewhere else? But whatever.
Yeah.
And then she says, well, maybe it's like a lesson, right? Maybe I need to do a completely selfless act.
Right.
And she does. We don't see or we don't know exactly what it is, because she just whispers to her sister and leaves. but it doesn't work. And so after that, she's like, fuck it. Like, life is meaningless. It's not going to work. So let's just like do whatever. And so they start having fun with it. And we just see like a compilation. What are they called?
Yeah, a compilation or a montage.
Montage. Where they're just having a great time together. It looks fun. I would hate to be in a time loop, but the way they're doing it looks kind of fun. And I do like the moment that they have when they go camping, which I referenced earlier. And like I said, we don't really know anything about Niles or even how long he'd been there. But she does try to ask him about his life and about what he does. I think like she tried to ask him like what his job was. And he was like, I don't remember. And she thinks that he's fucking with her, but I think he's telling the truth. Like, I think he's been in there for so long that he's like, I have no fucking clue.
Yeah, well,
what do you think?
I looked it up to see how long he was in. Do you want to know how long the writer said he was in there?
Sure.
So Sierra, whatever, said, I don't know if I'm supposed to say exactly, but Niles has been in there for over 40 years.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
How many days is that?
A shit ton of days.
I did that wrong.
40 years. I mean, before I knew that, right? I believed him. I believed that he didn't know, because there's no way for you to like document that, because anything that you like write down is all gone.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you could like tell yourself every day, because he still has memories. The interesting thing too about time loops is that they still remember the day before.
Right.
But I guess you wouldn't know. I don't know. I guess it's a glitch, but like, yeah. And also you don't, at this point, at least, he doesn't really have anybody else to talk to about it.
Right.
He can talk to people. Like, he can still interact with people, but like,
everyone's going to think he's crazy.
Yeah. Or at that point, like, he knows that they're not going to remember, or that they're, like,
right.
And it must fuck with him too. I wonder, at least it would fuck with me to be like, what am I doing now? Because when you're in a time loop, there is a world where you're not in this loop. So like, what the fuck is he doing?
Right. Like 40 years later.
Or like on my 1,000th day, I'd be like, what am I doing? Like, what is going on in my life? And I'm just stuck here. Oh God, that's kind of dark. Well, you know what I mean? Like, that's kind of like weird.
Yeah. Cause like in the real timeline, like when time is normal, did he just like cease to exist? Did he continue on?
He must have continued.
I mean,
he's just stuck in the one day that it's like it's a glitch, but then, like everything else is going on around you, but you are stuck. But
then how is it like, who's continuing in his life? Why?
It's still him. It's a different version of him. That's but weird. Isn't that the whole like quantum physics thing, is that there are different there's like, for whatever decision you make, like say like there is a world where Zencastr worked and we are done with recording this podcast.
I'm asleep, you know what I mean?
Now. Like, yeah, right. Like I think that's a point of quantum physics. No, maybe not the point of it, but that's the point of some sort of physics. Yeah, that every choice has, or everything that you do has multiple different like outcomes, but it's not that you chose to do this, so that is part of the one outcome. It's that you're going according to like there's 50 different trails you can go on,
right? And
it's not that you choose one, it's that you do go on all 50, but the person that you are now only goes on one. That doesn't make any goddamn sense.
No,
but
does.
Like that's I think that's the confusing part of it, of like, who knows? I don't know. How scary would that be though? We trapped in it.
Well here's okay. At any point within this movie, it made me think, like, what would you do? You're Niles.
I don't know.
I would.
I think I'd be like Sarah. I think I'd try to get myself out of it.
I think it would be a certain point where I would do that, but as weird as it sounds, I feel like I'd be like Niles a little bit, but not as lame because he's just at the wedding the entire time. I would do so much. I mean, it's not like he's wasting any time. Meet everyone in the world. There's legitimately nothing stopping you from meeting everyone in the world. There's like, you have no responsibility. I don't have homework. I don't have a job. I don't have any of that. You do whatever you want.
Yeah. But I mean, I think that's what I like about this movie, and I guess the gift of having more than one person stuck in this time loop is because Roy, Sarah, and Niles are all different parts of it.
Right.
Like we'll see a little bit later where Roy, like what he does with his time. But like you said, Niles is kind of just like whatever. But I think he's kind of that person in real life. Like he's not somebody that goes for stuff. He's probably just content with whatever, and he's not trying to like be better.
Right.
Or change his life. But Sarah is somebody that I think she's on the same path, but then it's where she wakes up, right? Where she's like, I can't be in this anymore. And I think that's a big part of it too, that he wakes up with this girlfriend he already hates. So he's just like, whatever. But that's why he's with the girlfriend that he hates.
Right. That's true.
Yeah. All right, back to the movie, because I forgot about the fucking dinosaurs.
Oh yeah.
That was a weird thing, but I think, and it's very cool, very strange. But a fun fact about this that I found is seeing dinosaurs in the desert is impossible, and its timing is intentional, as the pair have concluded neither of them deserve love and in fact find it impossible for themselves. So that's the moment that fully sold Kristen Milioti, I think that's how you say her name, on the script, which I like too. I mean, I don't think I made that connection of them thinking it's impossible, but then obviously the dinosaurs are impossible, but they happen.
Oh, I just thought they were high on shrooms because he had said like, oh, these
That's
shrooms.
what I thought too.
That's funny.
Which is probably true, but yeah, I don't know. This world is crazy.
Yeah.
Okay, so then we learn Sarah's secret, that she slept with her sister's fiance that she's getting married to that day.
It's a perfect way to reveal this too, might I add.
I think I forgot how they did it.
So that night when they camp, her and Niles get together, they sleep together.
Oh, yeah.
And it's like, there's a moment the audience has been wanting all
they finally get together.
The whole movie, and then you're like, yeah, they get to live a endless life together. And then like reality hits them. Hits the audience.
Yeah. Yep. And she wakes up in his bed, and every day, then I think that's when it clicks too, that's why. Because I don't know if he says this, but I mean, she doesn't look happy in her life. So he's kind of like, why do you want to go back to it? But I don't think it's much. I don't think it has to do really too much with that. It has to do more with the fact that she has to, wake up in the mistake that she made every single day, which would get to me too. I get it.
Oh yeah.
And a funny thing about this scene that I learned from the commentary, I didn't listen to, I don't know why I said it like that, but basically
from the Criterion Collection edition
that I personally collected. Andy Samberg revealed that after doing a test screening of the movie, they had to, quote, dull down and color correct Tyler. Oh my God, these last names. Holchin? I'll say that. Tyler Holchin, the guy that plays the fiance, they had to dull down his abs to be less noticeable, which I did notice this time because I read the note before. They did it to his abs were less noticeable because they were distracting the viewers and pulling focus away from the scene. He was so ripped.
That's such a...
He was distracting people.
That's such a baller move, bro. That
reminds me of a rumor. I don't know if it's a rumor, but something that's kind of well known about Willem Dafoe. Have you heard about it?
No.
Sorry, but go on. What were you saying?
No. Keep on going.
So there's a movie. I forgot what movie it is. Where he has to be naked, but his
Member?
I guess I'll just say it. Yeah, his member was so large that the director was like, this is distracting. And so they had to, I think they either had a body double or they had to have him put on like a prosthetic one because it was so distracting to him.
What? This is like, you said it's a rumor. Or
I think it's real. Let me look it up.
What the hell?
Yeah.
Sir, we can't have we already have too many tripods going around. We can't have another one on screen. Oh my goodness.
I think it was for a movie called Antichrist.
Oh, is that who directs that?
Lars von Trier.
Okay. That's what I thought it was. I didn't want to make myself sound like a fool. Wow. That's ridiculous.
But I think the director said that. The rumor is that Willem Dafoe originally agreed to do full frontal nudity for the film, but upon seeing him nude, Lars von Trier worried that due to his size, people would find the scene comical instead used a stunt penis or body double.
What a flex, bro.
I know. He was like, I mean, I can give it to you, but you can't handle it. That's what Willem Dafoe said to Lars.
Wow.
Yeah. I think about that story all the time, but it came up like when I read this, I was like, oh, that's hilarious. That is so funny. He's too ripped.
I'll never think about
shirtless.
Green Goblin the same. Spider-Man.
And honestly, you shouldn't.
Wild.
All right. So I'm sure, I feel like I've told that story on this.
No, I would have remembered that now.
I'm glad you know now.
That's wild.
All right. So all of that and Roy showing up, I think he's like in a cop car behind them, made her unhinged. So she ran over Roy and got Niles tased. And then he let it slip while they're arguing that he'd slept with her a ton of times before, which pisses her off even more. And I think I forgot about that and I gasped. I was like, oh my God, I can't believe you just said that. I remembered.
I was waiting for, I didn't remember how exactly it was revealed, but that's so messed up.
So degrading. Yeah, because the way he said it too, he's like, well, we've done it fucking 1,000 times. Like it was so special to her. And then he was like, instantly, well, it's not special.
Yeah, because he tells her like, all I had to do was like make up a speech or something. Yeah. So you know that the loop that
move,
it wasn't genuine whatsoever.
And the only thing that caused it to be different was Roy.
Mm-hmm. Wild.
Damn. And then after this, she gets so pissed and he doesn't see her for a while. Then one day he realizes that she slept with her sister's fiance because he smells her hairspray on the pillow that's in the fiance's room. Which I thought was kind of sweet.
He's like, of course she feels like shit.
Yeah. It like all clicks to him. And I think that's when he's like, that's when the audience too is like, oh, of course, that's why she wants to fucking leave. I also love the moments. I love that after, so we've seen this wedding scene a couple of times, right? But then they still, I think this is like at least an hour into the movie, and we still see something new about the wedding scene. So we see the parents singing to her, and it's so bad, but they start singing some song, I don't know what it is, and it's really bad, but Niles is watching it and like starts crying. That reaction shot of Andy Samberg was so funny. He is one of the best criers like I think like working today. His crying face is so goddamn funny. It makes me laugh every single time.
In Hot Rod, it's perfect.
Or like when he's like, yeah, because I think that one he's a little bit more dramatic where he's like pouting, not pouting, but like throwing a tantrum. But this one, the way he just looks, I think I might use that as the post because it makes me laugh every time. It is so funny.
Pretty funny.
And the next day, Niles shows up to Roy's house because Sarah is still nowhere to be found. So he shows up to Roy's house and he sees that Roy has a pretty good life with his wife and kids. And even in the loop, I think he tells him, like Roy says, like, this is always a really good day. And so that's why I think at first we think like he just doesn't want to make the drive. That's why he only goes after like a certain amount of times. But I think it's because he has his family, right? So, and I think Niles, I don't know why he went over there. I think he just wanted him to kill him again because he just felt so bad and just was feeling bad about himself.
Well, that and Sarah told him that he needed to confront Roy. Like it wasn't going to get any better. And like you said, like the three characters show like how people would cope with this. If you had like, say today was your loop, right? Mm-hmm. How would you feel about that? How would you feel about your loop?
I mean, I do things differently. I obviously wouldn't work.
No, I'd work. I'd be like, try to get to the top.
Can you imagine that being on a time loop and then fucking like during a work week?
9 to 5.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, I'm at my home. Like I get to see, but I see I don't have kids, obviously. But even just with my cat, I'm like, well, at least I get to spend it with my cat every day. Like that's not a bad thing.
Yeah, because at that point you're not working for anything. You're not saving money.
Or I could Sebastian works, but I feel like every now and then, obviously, like a couple of days since it's only one day to him, I'd be like, just call in. Exactly.
I'd tell Kayla, yeah, just let's go out to eat something. Let's go.
Yeah. Or just like make a day out of it. Or even those days where I would want to see him all the time, obviously, but I think him going to work would still also be like, some days he could, and I could just go do what I want or go see my friend. Or, I mean, the one thing that would suck is it's during COVID.
Go to the movies. Movies are closed.
Yeah, I guess.
There's no good movies.
Oh my God. Don't even. I don't know.
That'd be the worst.
I could rent movies. Because what is that? $20. I mean, I'm not going to see it again.
Yeah.
There you go.
Literally ball. There's nothing to stop you. I was just thinking about that at this point in this movie. Just like,
yeah,
like would this day be that bad? And maybe that's a little lesson. Like live every day like it's your loop day.
Yeah. Like what you would do if you could do whatever you want.
Exactly.
I'd go interrupt a speech at a wedding. That's exactly what I would do.
Might as well.
All right. And then I love this moment where, so Niles and Roy, it seems like they like kind of squash their beef. And Niles is like, can I stay for dinner? And he's like, no. And he said, well, can you at least kill me so I can like beat the traffic? That was really funny. Yeah. And then we switch to Sarah's point of view and see what she has been doing this whole time, which I really love too. She takes this whole time to not just sit in a pool the whole day, but she studies quantum physics and conducts experiments to try to figure out how to get out of there. And she goes to Niles when she finally figures it out. But he, spoiler alert, doesn't want to leave. And he tells her it's because he loves her, which is kind of like a bombshell to her, I think. And this is when I was like, wow, this is hitting a little close to home, because it's so parallel to how I feel. Like his reaction is so parallel to how I feel about getting back to real life outside of quarantine. Because I mean, I obviously want it, and I think he does too, but I'm so used to this life. Like I've been living this specific life for a year, and I'm weirdly nervous to get back to like whatever normal life used to be. It's so strange. And I've been talking to my therapist about this a lot, about like, I feel like COVID has turned me into such a shut-in, like even more so than how I used to be, and making my social anxiety worse. And it just like, I just feel so overwhelmed trying to, just the thought of going to a crowded bar or going to even just to go like to a party with my family. Like it just feels so, part of me is like, okay, but like, can we like have a few days, you know, like, especially now that other places it's so nice, obviously, because it means that so many people will be safe and healthy.
Right.
So I'm not saying I want that to continue, but I think just me not having to go to work, like having to stay home, like that privilege has afforded me to live a life that I'm like, I guess I'm like weirdly like hanging on to.
Oh, I feel the same way. Like I keep on getting emails about the fall semester, how we're gonna be mainly in person. I'm like, a large part of me is like, why? It works. I mean, like we're still in school, and yeah, it's weird, but it's working. I don't want to go back, but I completely understand where you're coming from. I feel the same way. It's going to be weird, and I understand Niles for not, 40 years. We've only been doing this for 1 year, but 40 years.
Yeah.
It's a long time to be doing the same thing over and over, and you just get so comfortable with it.
Yeah. I mean, partly there's some days where I do feel like I'm in a loop. Like, I think that's how a lot of people are describing it. And I think this came out during COVID, no?
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people are like, it weirdly feels how my life is now, where it feels like every day is the same and I'm kind of losing my mind. But at this point, it's like, I guess it's like Stockholm syndrome, where I'm like, yeah, I'm losing my mind, but like, I'm comfortable here.
Yeah.
Like even the thought of just going, I've been using this example a lot, but Sebastian went to go get his hair cut, and I happened to be there with him because we went to like a food truck before. And he was like, or I told him I could just wait in the car, and he was like, are you sure? Like, do you not want to just like go somewhere? Because I don't know, because there's a coffee shop across the street, and I was like, oh, maybe I can go there because I've been wanting to go to a coffee shop. But then the thought of being in an unfamiliar place and ordering from a menu that I am not familiar, like I don't know about, and I drink coffee, but I'm like a Starbucks coffee person. Like I don't actually know what the fuck I'm talking about. And it just really overwhelmed me. And I told him, I'm just going to stay in the car. And I feel like that's how I'm going to be for a while. Like people are going to invite me to things, and I'm going to probably be like, okay. Or maybe say no the first time, and maybe say yes the second time, only stay for like 30 minutes. But like, I don't know. It'll be weird. I'm glad we're at that point. Yeah. But I just feel like I need a little bit of an adjustment.
I get so tired. Like every time we go grocery shopping, we get home, I'm just so tired. I don't want to do anything. I want to unpack. These groceries need to like chill a little bit, and then I'll.
Yeah, I don't know, everything, like, yeah, it feels exhausting. Even just going and like going to an outdoor thing. Like we went to a outdoor pop-up market, and it was cool, but then I felt so awkward. Like I felt like I don't know, I used to love going and doing things, and now I just feel so weird.
Yeah. Being
around people that I don't know. But yeah.
Well, we'll get back to it. Eventually.
Okay. And so after Sarah, we get through the wedding, and she wants to have a good day. So it's actually like a nice wedding. And Sarah actually gives her speech. And it's a very cute speech, very nice speech, but she also has an interesting conversation afterwards with Nana that a lot of people have questions about. So people have asked about this scene, where Nana possibly suggests that she's aware of the loop, or maybe even experiencing her own. But no one seems keen on offering a definitive answer. As with many of the film's questions, they just say what you think it is what it is, which I like as an answer, because like, yeah, I guess be vague. But I do think she is in a loop, but it's different for her because she's older. So maybe to her, it's like, well, I get to see my family every day.
I get to see my grandchild get married every single day.
Yeah, I get to see the best day of her life every day. Yeah. And her days are obviously like going to end a little bit sooner than Niles would typically. So I like that, like little, she's like, I think she tells her like, you're going to be going soon now, right?
Yeah.
Which I thought was interesting. And then after this, Niles is at a bar when he realizes that he needs Sarah. And I like this moment. Oh. I think one of the times I laughed the hardest is when he's like, talking to them. Like he's like, do you want to describe it? I'm not doing a good job.
I don't know what moment you think is the funniest, but
so mine is when he's sitting at the bar and he's like slurring his words and I forgot what he's saying. And the lady that's there is like, is he drunk?
What did you give him?
And the guy's, what'd you give him? Because like he's had one drink.
Yeah, that's really funny. But after that, when he gets kicked out and he takes the truck, he like steals it.
Yeah.
He gets a flat. He goes to this guy who like runs a shady shooting range. Mm-hmm. And this is my favorite part where he's like, because the guy's deal is like he's upset because some lady took his virginity and then took off or something. Mm-hmm. Niles tells him that he's his long lost son.
Which is I always knew.
Yeah.
Very funny. And then he rushes to go to the cave because that's when Sarah, I didn't even mention this, but she said she figured it out and she's going to go to the cave. She has to like blow them up at a specific moment. And so he rushes to the cave and gives his one sentence speech where he basically is like, I can't live without you kind of thing. And that he wants to go with her. And so they go into the cave, they blow up. And then the next scene, we see them at a pool the next day. And we learn, I do like too, when he's like, I should probably go pick up my dog. And she's like, you have a dog? And he said, yeah, his name's Fred. And she's like, you have a dog named Fred?
Shaggy.
Which is the perfect name. And what was I going to say? Oh, and then, because I forgot about this, but the house that they're at is like at somebody, he said like some family where they're like, it's their summer home or something. They're not there basically. Mm-hmm. But then they show up the next day. And then that's when it ends, that they're just in the pool while the family's just staring at them. And we even see a shot of the desert with dinosaurs walking in the distance. I mean, we even get a mid-credit scene where, I didn't even mention this, but Sarah, we see her sending him, like calling somebody, but we don't know what it is until the end when Roy goes up to Niles and he was like, hey, I got your girlfriend's message. Does it actually work? And Niles is like looking at him and he's like, who are you? And he doesn't remember him. But I guess that's another question about the loop.
Well, what the hell? I've never seen this. This mid-credit scene?
You didn't see it?
No. This is mind-blowing.
Oh, you dumbass.
Both times I haven't seen this. What the?
Oh, you should go watch it. But basically, Roy like rushes to the wedding and he's like, he's in the like guest attire and he walks up to Niles, who's at the bar, and he's like, that's what he says. He says, I got your girlfriend's message. Is it like, do you think it's going to work? And Niles is like, sorry, do I know you? Like he has no idea who he is. And that's when Roy like realizes that it worked because he doesn't recognize him.
Whoa.
And so he starts laughing. I think the message she sent him is we don't hear it, but it's basically, I think she tells him how he can go back.
But like, how does she get that message to him?
She called him.
Oh, but
I don't know the logistics.
Yeah, that's a little confusing. Okay. Wow, I got to rewatch that. Or watch that.
Oh, Anthony.
What a fool.
I would say I can't believe you didn't get that, but I kind of can believe it. And the last fun fact is that Andy Samberg said multiple endings were written and even shot. They held private screenings with their friends and family to show different versions to get opinions on which ending worked.
That's cool.
I like this ending. I'd like to know what the other ones were.
Yeah, I was just about to say that, and I was curious how you felt about this ending, especially because I didn't remember that they show after the explosion that they finally get out, and I would have been content with just it ending on the explosion, leaving it open ended. And I'm curious to see if you thought that would have been better, because I know you like open ended movies or just plots, but I like this one.
I feel like that would have felt out of character for this movie.
Okay.
To not give an ending. Maybe not. I mean, if they shot different ones. I also would have liked an ending where it didn't work. and we just see them like content with their day, or like with being with each other, or maybe like they go and do, like, like what you said, maybe why doesn't he go and do other stuff? Like maybe they see that they actually go and like try to live their lives,
right? Like a I don't know why I thought of this movie, but Hangover credits, like we see the pictures in the camera of that night that happened.
Yeah,
like that kind of.
Yeah,
that would have been cool.
But I like this ending. I am inclined to say I would like an open-ended one too, but I mean, I guess it is kind of open-ended because of the dinosaurs. Like, is it actually real?
That's true.
Did they mess up the timeline? Like, I don't know. All right, what prop would you steal?
Probably the Hawaiian shirt. I don't know what else.
I'd want that hairspray.
Oh.
The hair mist.
What if it just like smelled really bad?
Maybe. Or I did see I should have put this in the fun facts, but the beer that he was drinking every day is not a real beer. Like, they made it specifically for the movie. And Andy Samberg said that he hoped that somebody like would manufacture it, but I don't think anybody has. So I'd like a case of that fake beer.
Yeah.
Or whatever drink, or the blender that he uses to make a drink in the morning. That was a nice blender.
Or that the Australian guy's suit.
Oh my God, yes. That suit is amazing. I wouldn't be able, it wouldn't fit me, but it could fit you maybe.
Yeah, I probably need to get a little taller, but that'd be cool.
Oh, and we didn't even mention, one of my favorite parts too is when he's talking about all the people he hooked up with, and he's like, even your dad. And then they're like, what are we doing? That was really funny.
That was.
He's like, I'm just kidding. But part of me is like, I don't think he was kidding. I hope he wasn't. I think that'd be funny.
Yeah, that'd be really funny. What are we doing?
Right. Ready for the game?
Yeah, let's do it. Good movie. I liked it.
I think you have. Oh yeah, I liked it too. I guess we didn't say that, but I loved this movie. I think it's a good time.
Good time.
I think you have a chance with this one, Anthony. I have faith.
Okay.
In you.
So I wrote down mine.
Same.
I have J.K. Simmons.
Ooh, okay. I chose Jesse Eisenberg to keep it easy on you.
Nice. Okay.
Right. Let's do it.
5 minutes on the clock. Let's go.
Okay, I will go first. Mine's a little long, so I probably didn't get it, but I was able to make a connection, which is nice.
Cool.
All right. J.K. Simmons was in Juno with Elliot Page. Elliot Page was in Inception with Leonardo DiCaprio.
Yours always goes to Leonardo DiCaprio.
He's the way, you just got to find one.
He's the Kevin
Bacon. It was either him or Woody Harrelson. I couldn't figure out who the fuck what movie he was in. Okay, Leonardo DiCaprio is in J. Edgar with Armie Hammer. Armie Hammer is in The Social Network with Jesse Eisenberg. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Okay. You're going to be
I'm so upset. What? I already know. I'm already pissed.
So
what is yours?
I know for a fact Jesse Eisenberg and J.K. Simmons have been in a couple movies together.
Really?
One that has been recut by a famous director. The boy is Zack Snyder. Okay, so J.K. Simmons. We have a couple of movies you want to pick from. We could
just fucking tell me, bitch.
We could either do Batman versus Superman: Dawn of Justice, or we could do Justice League 2017 version, or we could do Justice League the Snyder Cut.
What is J.K. Simmons in that? Which
was actually in 4:3 to fun little fact to keep Snyder's authentic vision,
Yeah. Of course.
So Jesse Eisenberg, of course.
Yeah, I know. He's Lex Luthor, right?
Reprised his role, his infamous role.
Really? And then in the newer one?
Yeah, he's like towards the end.
Okay.
But even if he isn't there in Batman versus Superman, Dawn of Justice, J.K. Simmons is Commissioner Gordon.
Is he really?
Yeah. Yeah. Which
I'm
Gary
looking
Oldman plays the same character in The Dark Knight. You don't believe me?
Just need to see it for myself. God fucking damn it.
Yeah, they're in the same movie. So, yo, that was awesome.
And Homer kept telling me, like, why don't you guys do the Snyder Cut? I was like, I'm not gonna cover a 4-hour fucking movie.
Which is funny.
Are you kidding me?
Speaking of movies that you have to watch.
Anthony, don't.
I'm just playing. I legitimately.
If it's okay if you wanted me to.
No,
I will do it.
I would legit not do that to you. Maybe for like a bonus 100th, or if we get a Patreon or something. Like we had to hit a milestone to hit that, No, instead, recently I was.
I'm scared.
I found out that this movie is on a streaming service. I don't know if it's again, but it is on a streaming service. You and I'll watch it too because I want to. You're gonna watch Shrek.
I mean, that's not bad.
No, it's not bad.
Sebastian will be excited about that.
Yeah, Shrek. It's on Hulu. Shrek 2, I believe, too, as well. But the first one.
Okay. I watched a little bit of it in I Am Legend.
What?
I don't know if you remember that part. There's a part where he watches, there's like the kid, remember when they show up and then he watches Shrek and he's like saying the lines because he's seen it so many times and the people are like, okay.
Well, you get to watch the whole thing. Oh, wow, that is amazing that you lost. So, like...
Well, yeah, I'm not going to know that he's in fucking the Snyder Cut. I refuse to watch anything in 4:3 ratio or aspect ratio.
Yeah, I mean...
I'm just kidding.
It's what got me the W.
And not only to lose, but to lose because of that fucking movie.
I know, it's perfect.
After the night we've had.
Nothing brings people together more like Shrek.
All right. Well, let me talk about the movie we're going to watch next. So I already said this to you, Anthony, but to kind of, I want to go on a little like theme for my picks. So to give some background to it, both Anthony and I are really bad at watching, like, I guess, quote unquote, classic movies. We're not really huge fans of them. I mean, not for a specific reason, but I just feel like we don't gravitate towards them. So I think that we should try to watch them. And it's going to be a wild ride because I can guarantee there's going to be some that the consensus is it's a good movie and we're not going to like it.
Some hot takes.
So just get ready. Yeah, there's going to be a lot of hot takes. I think that's why we've avoided watching old movies because, like, I already know. I just don't want to hear it. But honestly, whatever. So the first one we're going to be watching is on HBO. Is it HBO Max? I already forgot what it's called. Yeah, HBO Max. We're going to watch Kramer versus Kramer.
I've legit never heard this movie before.
So it has Dustin Hoffman and Meryl Streep. And it's basically a couple. So when his wife leaves him, when his wife leaves him, an ad exec gets a crash course in parenting. So it's basically just like a couple getting divorced. It's a very famous movie that I've never seen. And I'm not surprised that you haven't heard of it.
All right.
But yeah. And we'll get some hot takes. I don't know, maybe we'll love all of them, but I think it's about time that we educate ourselves because the theme of it is what I'll call it is movies that whenever I tell people I've never seen them, they're like, what? You've never seen that movie?
How dare you? But yeah, have you ever seen Along Came Polly?
I don't fucking think so. Show some goddamn respect.
Yeah. You ever seen Robots?
Yeah. Have you ever seen iRobot? I had such a big urge to watch that after I Am Legend. I fucking love that movie. I've seen it so many times.
Weird.
So I won't watch Citizen Kane, but I'll watch Monster-in-Law with J-Lo Jane Fonda. I'll see that movie every goddamn day.
Yo, to start off this like classic movies, hot take: Citizen Kane sucks ass.
Ooh, okay, bye.
Bye.